It's May 16, 2021. I'm Todd Dunn, and today I'm back in Seawall at Acadia National Park. And I just wanted to walk through and see what the campground looks like because it's scheduled to open in 9 days. So here's the sign, campground to the left, picnic area to the right. The main part of the picnic area is still closed and the restroom in there is still closed. That's in contrast to the restrooms at the Ship Harbor Trail and at the Bass Harbor Head Lighthouse, which are open. They opened this last week. So here's the entrance to the campground where I'm going to head in. And we're going to see how the preparations for opening are going. As I said, they open in 9 days on the 26th. Well, it's a nice day today. When I left home, it was a scorching 58 degrees, but the bright sunshine feels warmer. We're supposed to get some rain tonight, though, so may feel a little cooler tomorrow. As we come up toward the entrance station for the Seawall Campground. Now here on the western side of the island, not all the restaurants are open yet, but they're starting to open up, and I expect that they'll pretty much all be open by next week, and certainly by the end of next week. One change, which I mentioned in my last video from here, is that the Island Explorer bus is currently scheduled to operate on a limited schedule. And one of the limitations is the bus will not be coming over to this side of the island. So if you stay here in the Seawall Campground, starting in 9 days, you cannot count on taking the bus. You'll have to drive. Okay, let's walk a couple of the camp loops and see how the park's preparations for opening are going. Well, I'm just past the entrance station, and here's the entrance to A loop. So we'll walk A loop, and I think after we do this one, we'll walk B loop. And I can see the park has done a few things. They have moved a picnic table out to the entrance to one of the sites. Now this picnic table may simply be here because they intend to do some work on it, and they left it out here to make it easier, but they haven't done anything other than move the picnic table for this site, and they've definitely blocked off access to site number 2 here. So as we walk around, we'll see if they've blocked access to other sites. Well, I think some of these picnic tables may be out here because they need a little work, some paint, or this one needs a new plank there on the seat, and probably a new plank on the top. It's pretty rotted. So we'll have to take a look at the others as we walk around. They may not reflect the status of the campsites, merely planned maintenance over the next 9 days on the picnic tables. They pretty much all look like they could use some paint. Yeah, I think I'll check something here. See if they've turned the water on yet. Yes, they have. So water is on, and this is potable water. It comes from the Southwest Harbor Town water system, and about a week ago the town was flushing the lines out to here at the fire hydrant. Another picnic table that could use some repairs and definitely could use a coat of paint. So we'll keep walking and see just what's going on in here. I have to say that the last time I was here, the picnic tables were all still tilted up in the campsites and or upside down and things like that, so that they couldn't be used. And here is site 9, which they have blocked off. And this is the site right next to the restroom over there. So I suspect that this site will not be open this summer, at least not at the beginning of the summer. And as we go up here further, the picnic tables are set up in the sites. So that doesn't look like those tables are on their maintenance schedule. And it looks like they may have done a little bit of mowing on some of the sites. The grass doesn't look too long. So they're getting close to being ready to open. This is a path over to one of the restrooms. As you can see, still a few small branches down and a lot of leaves. I think there'll probably be somebody in here in the next few days moving these little broken branches and maybe raking some of the leaves off. We continue around. But most of the sites in here in Loop A appear to be ready to go. They've cleaned out the fire pits in the sites. And here is yet another site with a picnic table, which is a little rotten in the edges and could use at least one new plank. So I suspect this one's here for maintenance. And the rest of the site could use a little cleanup. Okay, this is site 38, the last site in A Loop. And we have another picnic table out by the road. This one looks like the seat has got some rot in it. And she may be out here for repairs. The site itself looks pretty normal. This is a nice campsite. It is a little close to the main road, but other than that, it's quite pleasant. Well away from any other campsites. And except for some leaves, it looks like they've got the fire pit ready to go. So about half the picnic tables in A Loop were pulled out to the road. I suspect that's so they can do some maintenance on them. 3 of the 38 sites had barriers across the entrance, so those sites may not be opening this year. It's hard to tell. I'll try to come back here a little closer to opening day and see if the barricades are still there. Well, here we are back to the entrance to A Loop, and I'm going to head down and walk B Loop. Well, here we are at the entrance to B Loop. They have not replaced the sign. It's still there lying face down on the ground. where a fallen tree took it out. But we'll walk B loop and see just what it looks like. Well, here we are at sites 1 and 2 here on B loop, and I can see that the picnic table for site 1 is out by the road, and there's some obvious rot in the planks that make up the picnic table, so I think this one definitely is out for maintenance. And there's the picnic table in site 2. Site could definitely still use some cleanup. We'll have to see how that goes. And I can see other picnic tables right out by the road further down the path here. Well, here we are at site 4, and you can see they still have the picnic table upside down. And one of the reasons the picnic tables get rot along the edge of the planks is because they set them up like this for the winter, and last year they spent the summer that way in the moist ground, so there was rot on the edges of the top planks. So this one they haven't done anything with. And up here, a couple more picnic tables out by the road that look like they probably could use a little maintenance. Yeah, you can see rot in the edges of the seats, the split on that one. So, and a little rot on the edges of the planks here. So this one's definitely out for maintenance. We'll walk into the site. They've got the fire pit ready to go. This is a very small site. And but so far I haven't found any sites with a barricade across them. Let's see if the doesn't look like the water's on here yet, or at least they haven't turned the valves on. They have gotten the sink ready to go. Put the metal strainer in so you can come out here and wash your dishes. And another picnic table that looks a little bit punky along the edge. And another site where they haven't turned the picnic table over yet. I think they're working their way through the various sites and loops, and they are much further along on A loop than they are on B loop, because there were no picnic tables that were still upside down over on A loop. Well, here we are at site 10, and this one definitely is out here for maintenance. Big chunk broken out of one plank in the top, and the seat on one side is also broken in half. So that's what happens when picnic tables sit out in the weather for a couple of years between uses. And I'd say so far about half the picnic tables in this loop are still upside down. Yeah, here's another one. And I see all the way down. Table is still upside down back there on site 13. So B loop here is a lot farther from being ready to open than A loop is. Well, I'm taking a brief break here at site B27, the last site on B loop. This one's set about 100 feet from the road, and the closest campsite is over 100 feet away. So this is a Nice campsite, except that the main road is right over there. And like at least half of the sites in this loop, the picnic table is still not laid out properly, and I'm sitting on one end of it even though it's tilted up, and it does have some rot. So I suspect that if I come by tomorrow or the next day, this picnic table will be out by the road, ready for the maintenance crew to do some work on it. And what I think is probably going to happen is there'll be a maintenance crew coming through here with a bunch of planks pre-cut for the picnic tables, and they will be replacing planks on the tables that are out by the road. That way they don't have to wonder if a table needs some work. So anyway, they still have a fair amount of work to do in the Seawall Campground to get it ready to open. They have 9 days until opening day. So it's gonna be busy in here next week in particular. And I don't know if I'll get back over here next week to see what they're doing, because I am launching my sailboat on the 24th, and I still have a fair amount of work to do on it. But I'm getting closer. Lots of people walking in the campground today too, and the first mosquito of the season just tried to bite my hand. So that part of the summer season is starting. Anyway, I'm gonna head back out to the road and walk over to the picnic area and take a look at it. Well, some wildlife here in the Seawall Campground. Little red squirrel. And he's pretty bold. I'm about 10 feet from him. There he goes across the road. Well, I'm over in the Seawall picnic area. Sorry about the wind noise, but it is a little breezy out here. Tide is fairly close to high. It's a little hazy today, and given the haze and the wind off the water, I wouldn't be surprised if it fogs up this evening. There's Great Cranberry Island, the hills of Mount Desert Island in the distance, and the main part of the picnic area, which is still closed off. So I expect that will be open by the 26th. Picnic tables appear to be set up, and pretty much every time I've been down here, there have been people picnicking in there. They just carried their stuff in. And other than that, it's pretty quiet here right now. It's about 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. Still 5 cars in here right now. But it's quite a pleasant day. Although the wind off the ocean is a little cool. Seawater temperature is still only about 45 degrees. So anytime the wind's off the ocean for the next month or so, it's going to be chilly here on the coast of Maine. Okay, I think that pretty much wraps up this video. Hope you enjoyed seeing what's going on in the Seawall picnic area and the Seawall Campground today, May 16. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask. I will respond. Always within 24 hours. Okay, thanks for watching.